Hello ladies and gentlemen, Luthau here, welcome back to Warhammer Odyssey. So we're back with more news. Again, before we start, I'd like to apologise for not uploading. Again, work's been busy, I've been very drained and tired, so I really hadn't had time. But I did try and record a level up journey to max level on a character, so that will probably be out at some point. And I've seen that a lot of you are liking the alternative journey, so I'll try and get more of that out as soon as possible. So without further ado, let's get straight into the news. So the first big update is just talking about that their new designers are continuing to be caught up with the tools and of course training with the rest of the team to get the new drop proposals for all boss level content, which is cool. And that it said that the new loot is going to be more fair and more rewarding than previously. So it'll probably give you a reason why you should tackle these bosses with groups of people to try and get these really cool loot, hopefully. And that they're also taking a look at food and potions to how they can improve them, as they do agree that it takes way too long to get back in combat once you're like eating. In my opinion, they should just reduce the timer of how fast you eat so that you can just eat quickly and then get back in the game, or just have it so that it's a heal over time. So basically you eat your food and then it's like a heal over time buff you get, so you can just get back into the fight as soon as possible, and then it just goes on cooldown like a potion in a sense. So I think that's the best way they could tackle it, that's my opinion. Art. So apparently the art team's been working on 3D modelling for the Warden bosses, and then this is the temporary name, so it could be interesting what it is. And they've been updating each class with their auto attack movements and other specs as well, so that's pretty cool. But the team apparently continue to work on the Wasteland Swamps and the Draco Cave and new areas for the Warden bosses. So this could be cool. It could be like these are basically bosses which have mechanics, which would be cool because we need bosses like that, because at the moment the bosses are pretty basic. They either put a dot on you that ticks you for quite a lot, so basically it's dependent on the healer to out heal the tick, or they just hit hard in a sense. There's not really much mechanics going on, so hopefully this will do that. The Virgo team have been basically tackling bugs, adjusting the UI changes and quests, and the auction house in Warhammer, so they've continued to do that, so not much there. And then they gave us a teaser for a concept art for a Skaven environment. It looks cool. I mean, it's very underground. I mean, this could probably connect with the next zone to where we go in the swamps, so it could like connect to a new zone on the way there. So it looks cool. I've always liked the Skaven designs because Skavens are very much an interesting faction. I mean, yes, they are rats, but they have cool like designs in the sense of how they are. So in a sense, I like it. It looks cool. I mean, hopefully we'll get to see more Skaven areas in the game. Secondly, updates on design. They basically went over improving the introduction to the game, so like the tutorial, to make it so it's easier to understand one of the systems, which is factions. If you didn't know, in the game there are multiple faction shops that you can interact with, because they have like these repeatable quests. That's why in my leveling series you'll hear me say I'm not going to do these quests because these are faction quests, because they're repeatable. And at the moment, they're not really worth it until you hit the end game. End game being the high level faction shops, because if you, of course, do their quests, they give you better rewards for when you have them in higher ranking. But at the moment, they don't really give you, in general, a lot. It's just random loot. So with this, they're trying to improve it in a way that there are like elixirs that you can obtain from them, and that these elixirs give you like bonuses, so that they're worth trying to grind out for and obtain them, which I think is good, because then it gives you a reason why you should go back to maybe earlier faction shops to then get those elixirs, than just completely ignoring them and just going, I'm not bothering. So that's a good way of doing it in my opinion. Art. So on the character art team, they've been working on the engineer's range weapon animations, as well as the archmage attack combos. I think the engineer's range animation is fine. I mean, I don't see how they can improve it in a way, but we'll see. The Archmage ones, I mean, they could probably make it a bit faster. I don't know. I mean, I've played a bit of Archmage and I feel like they're fine as well, but that's just me. And then they've been working on a concept for new enemies later down the road next year. So they are really pumping out a lot of stuff, getting things ready for next year. It seems like that. So we'll have to see. I feel like next year maybe it'll be the Warhammer Odyssey year for bringing out a lot of good content. So we'll have to see. And they've just been mostly fixing bugs in the sewers area for final polishing for the closed beta test. And then in programming, this is interesting, the programming team has begun implementing new AI features for the instance dungeons so fights can be better scripted, as well as fixing bugs for new UI features for achievements and titles. So it sounds like there are going to be really cool mechanics in the instance dungeons for the AI bosses, but hopefully this will extend to the open world so that we'll see really cool mechanics in the open world bosses AI. So it's nice that they are working really hard to make sure that these features and these designs are going to be the best as possible. So it sounds like these dungeons are going to be up to par with maybe many other things, and hopefully this will give the game its unique feature, so that these bosses are going to be really hard mechanically, and also have these really cool, interesting mechanics that we haven't seen in a mobile MMO. So we'll see. We'll have to see. The teaser they gave us was a rat ogre doing like a slam attack. I'm gonna guess this is just to showcase like the animations they got. Maybe it's a boss rat ogre, because it does look interesting. Doesn't look like your normal generic rat ogre. So, and it's doing like a slow slam attack, so maybe it's something that you can dodge out of quite quickly. You never know. So it'd be cool to see what this rat ogre is. Maybe it is a boss. It looks like cool. It doesn't look like I could say it doesn't look like a generic rat ogre. So we have to see. That's cool. I like it. Design. So they've said they've done all the side quests in the sewer, so it's all completed, and all the task related stuff is also completed in the sewers as well. So they're just working out on a few bugs to work out so that they can release it and get the playtesters to test it. And of course, once it's been approved by the production, so that's something. Also, the design team's been working on the Drackwell Forest Waterfall Cave, which will be intended to be a dungeon-like open world area for players to explore, which is what we assumed in my last video, if you haven't seen it, where we said open world dungeon. We were correct. So it's basically like an open world dungeon that you can go to with loads of people and to conquer it. So it sounds like we were correct to assume that, and it's just been confirmed here, so we were correct, which is cool. They've also continued work on the faction system tutorial, and as well as proving the elixirs and completing the name descriptions for lots of cosmetic items. So they've got cosmetic items all there as well, so I'll be interested to see what they look like. Art. So the art team apparently have been improving the VFX for the Witch Hunter and the Warrior Priest, as well as improving the auto attack for the first action for the female engineers and the Archmage have been completed. They said although both of these classes were previously mentioned, both females and males use totally different skeleton rigs, which means they basically have to rework multiple animations because they both share different animations, which is understandable. It makes sense in my opinion. Apart from that, they've also been spending their time fixing sewer bugs, as well as working on the Noggle cultist area, which sounds cute. Programming. So the programming team have been working on fixing bugs for the new part UI. I haven't seen this part UI myself, but hopefully it's better than the old one in my opinion. Bounty boards as well, and really in the fun but stressful very wide AoE bug, which is, I think they showed a screenshot of that before, of the Dwarf Slayer's skill that's not meant to be AoE, but it was doing AoE for some reason. It's quite funny to see, to be honest with you. They did say their goal was to release this update by next week, but of course that hasn't happened, or else I would be posting loads of videos on it. So that hasn't happened. Hopefully we'll get like a release date soon. I know they posted like another weekly update. The teaser for this one, they showed off basically a spider-like area, so we're getting more spiders, which is cool. Hopefully we get cool looking spiders, and maybe even like a boss spider. So we'll have to see. It does look like a cool area, and it also looks creepy, so cool. The last wiki update, which was recent, is that they went over a few things, and also saying that they're starting to get things ready for a live release, which is cool. So let's get right into it. Design. So the team has been spending weeks polishing and fixing bugs for the sewer map, which is cool, as well as several new item names and descriptions, such as cosmetic weapons and new accessories have been completed and are waiting approval. These jewelries will find themselves in a new jewelry vendor, which is cool. Hopefully, I guess in this jewelry vendor is probably going to be the gold currency, or maybe it's a new type of currency, we don't know. And there's also part of a new series of quests, which is cool. More quests, more the merrier, meaning more ways to level up faster. And then they said on a Monday we'll have a final playtest before submitting the update to Google and Apple, which is the last step to release. So it sounds like we're getting close, so close to do stuff, which is awesome, because I do like this game and I do want more stuff to do on it. Again, I would be doing more content on this game, it's just I've been very busy, as I've mentioned multiple times, which is annoying. Art. The team has been working on new animations and of course proved a character select experience, which is interesting because I think the character selection screen is fine, but we'll see. And also started with the Shadow Warriors for both specializations and both male and female characters, so that's cool. This is part of a larger, more improved new player experience, which is easier for players to decide on the class they want to play. So I'm guessing they're going to make it so that you can actually have a bit of a play test before you actually choose, so that's cool. It gives players more of an option that they're going down the right path on what they want to play. And of course the environment team, they've been continuing to solve environment bugs in the sewers as well as the new starting area, so that is good to hear. And then programming, they said it's really short this time, so basically programming team has been completed several tasks related to the new achievements and leaderboards, and then at the end of the week they'll be begun to prepare the latest internal version for this live release. So again, sounds like we're getting very close to an actual update. It sounds like it's going to be pretty big depending on what they're adding. Of course we know we're going to get the bounty board system in, maybe possibly a new party UI, we don't know, but it'll be interesting to see what we get. I think the bounty board system is going to be a really good addition to this game. It's going to help people level faster as well as give them something to do, so it's all good. And then the last teaser was them showing off a Skaven machine shooting. I don't think it's something we'll be able to fight. I think it's just going to be a prop that's just shooting in the background. Well, you never know, maybe it's going to be like a mechanic in a boss fight where you have to disable them, and then they could become reactive later on and they just do a lot of AoE damage. But we'll see. We will see about that. So that's it for this weekly update. A lot of it's really cool. It sounds like we're getting very close to an update to the game, so we'll have to see. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Tell me what you guys think, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.